WNBA star Brittney Griner is being detained in Moscow as tensions ratchet up between Russia and the U.S. over the invasion of Ukraine. Griner was arrested on drug charges a month ago, but the news only made public over the weekend. Russian customs officials claim they detected cannabis oil in her luggage at an airport near Moscow. CNN's Rosa Flores has more now as U.S. officials are working to bring her home.
As the diplomatic ties between the U.S. and Russia crumble, a WNBA star is caught in the middle. Phoenix Mercury center Brittney Griner was arrested on drug charges after Russian customs officials said they found vape cartridges that contained cannabis oil in her luggage at an airport near Moscow in February. Griner remains in custody.
I've talked to a couple of sources, and they said it's been a couple of weeks that this has been going on. One source said since the NBA All-Star game.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken gave few specifics on Griner's case.
Whenever an American is detained anywhere in the world, we of course stand ready to provide every possible assistance, and that includes in Russia.
The episode comes as the United States has implemented economic sanctions on Russia as its assault on Ukraine intensifies.
What does the timing of the detention tell you?
I think it tells you everything. The trajectory of the case now will probably be different. And so they will definitely look for a sort of a certain bargaining chip effect, propaganda effect.
Given the timing of this, does the U.S. have limited leverage given what's going on in Ukraine?
Oh, for sure. So President Putin has declared that the West is at war with him by levying these economic sanctions. He has likened them to war. And so this being an American citizen who can potentially be accused of carrying a substance she was not supposed to be carrying, of course, whether that actually corresponds to the facts, we don't even know. And I wouldn't put anything beyond the authorities there. But so, yeah, this is probably a propaganda trick.
Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, who represents Griner's home city of Houston, calling for her release.
I don't want to disregard a sovereign nation, but Putin has disregarded sovereign nations his entire service in this world. And anyone that is killing and attacking and destroying Ukraine, their neighboring country that does not bother them, has no right to hold Ms. Griner, period.
And Griner's wife, breaking her silence in an Instagram post thanking everyone for their support and writing, quote, "Please honor our privacy as we continue to work on getting my wife home safely." Back home in Houston, Griner's high school coach grew emotional, worried Griner could face severe consequences.
What's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is that this will become that she'll be a political pawn.
If she by any chance watches this story, what would you tell her?
I would tell her, please know that you are loved by so many people. You've always had a true resolve and grit to get to the finish line, and know that you will get to the finish line of this trial you're going through, of this ordeal.
The WNBA telling CNN that all of the athletes that were competing in Russia and Ukraine have exited those countries except for Griner. The U.S. Department of State issuing a do not travel advisory for Russia, and the reasons listed are very telling. It, of course, includes Russia's invasion of Ukraine, but it also says that officials there, government officials, could harass U.S. citizens, that the U.S. government right now has limited ability to help U.S. citizens in Russia, and also that that U.S. citizens who are in Russia could see the arbitrary enforcement of the law there, Erica. And of course, right now, the focus for the friends and family of Brittney Griner is to return her to the United States.
Yeah, absolutely. And to get some answers. Rosa Flores, appreciate it. Thank you. Joining us now, Kimberly St. Julian Vernon. She's a doctoral student in history at the University of Pennsylvania who analyzes race, foreign policy, and culture in Russia and Ukraine. It's great to have you with us this morning because I think your expertise can really help us understand where we may be at and where Brittney Griner may be at this morning. Congressman John Garamendi was on earlier here today on CNN and said it's going to be, quote, very difficult to get her released. And he also brought up Russia's anti-LGBTQ laws, and he says these could also come into play. I see you nodding your head. It looks like you agree.
Yes, absolutely. Just beyond the fact that she is a very high profile American athlete, the fact that she is a visible minority, a Black woman, but also she is, openly gay and a member of the LGBTQ community. None of these bode well for her in Russian custody. But also we have to be worried that any of the list of anti-LGBTQ laws that are on the books in Russia could also be levied against her.
When we look at what we know, and it's not a lot, quite frankly, at this moment, the fact that this arrest actually happened last month, we are seeing these statements. Rosa just highlighted the statement from Brittany Griner's wife, appreciating everyone's support, but really asking that their privacy be respected at this time. What is and isn't said publicly is incredibly important. How do you think that has also shifted since Russia invaded Ukraine?
I think her family's response is incredibly important and also the best way to handle this, because we don't know what specific day in February Griner was arrested. We just know it happened in February. So I think the fact that we've seen this escalation, the declaration of war in Ukraine, and the American, response to that, all of these could exacerbate her case. But as Secretary Blinken said, we already have, the United States has limited ambassadorial and also, consulate abilities in Russia right now. So I think the things that aren't being said are important because we don't know how long she's been kept. We don't know where she is. We just know that she's in Russian custody. So I think being careful with how we speculate about this is very important because all of this could influence her case.
Secretary Blinken also said the U.S. is always working to get Americans out of Russian prisons. She's not alone. Her high school coach just told our Rosa Flores she's worried that Brittany Griner could become a political pawn, but she's not the only American. How does all of that weigh in these negotiations?
I think this is important. She is not the only American who's been in Russian custody. Two high-profile cases, Paul Whelan and Trevor Reed, both of these are American. They're both former Marines, and they are currently serving long prison sentences in Russia due to these, trumped-up charges. So the threat is very real that Brittany could be facing a long time in prison in Russia, but also the fact that no matter what the United States can do, this is still up to Russian courts and Russian juries to decide what will happen to her. So this is a very delicate situation, and we have been working on the Trevor Reed and Paul Whelan case for years now, but these two gentlemen are still locked up in Russian prison.
Kimberly St. Julian, great to have you with us this morning. Really appreciate your expertise and your insight here. Thank you.
Thank you.